Twombly's Untitled from 1964 is a masterclass in abstract mark making, in application of paint, in colour. It's visceral, it's powerful, it really is a heroic painting. Twombly was working in New York in the 1950s as a cryptographer for the US Army, and it was really then that he started to create his own signature style of abstract mark making as a painter, creating his own mark and subverting what abstract expressionist artists like de Kooning, Pollock, Franz Klein were doing at the time. Having really made a bit of a name for himself in New York, he moves in 1957 to Rome, and it's there that he really creates his own contribution to art history. He was really immersing himself in the classical world and the myths of the gods. So he did a series called Crimes of Passion, and also works on Leda and the Swan and The Empire of Flora, all of these wonderful florid works that have this very erotic element to them. And then by 1962, 1963, the tone really shifts, and it's very much in tune with what's happening sociopolitically in the world, really. It becomes a dark phase in Twombly's production of this period. So kind of responding to things like the Cuban Missile Crisis, the assassination of JFK, his work becomes more aggressive, it becomes darker in tone, and you really see that coming across in this painting. Twombly was also inspired by the architecture, the Pantheon, the Colosseum, and the history of Rome, so the history of its rule and the emperors and the Caesars of the time. There's a series of works as well which the present work directly relates to, which is 9 Discourses on Commodus by Twombly from 1963, now in the collection of the Guggenheim Bilbao, and it's this masterful series of 9 paintings, really immersive, grand-scaled pictures, and the energy and the verve of those really violent and aggressive works that carries over into the present piece. What Twombly is doing in this work is thinking about heroic history paintings from the past, whether it be something like David's Rape of the Sabine Women, Rubens' Massacre of the Innocents, even Goya's 3rd of May, but taking the figuration out of it and making it entirely emotional and entirely visceral through painterly mark making. And it's that power and that heroic energy that really, really comes across in this work. This painting has a background of grey, which creates a neutral backdrop for the drama at the centre of the composition, which is this fight between red, black and purple, these very regal battle tones, which again references the idea of history painting. This work really contains everything that you associate with Twombly as a great artist. It has the scrawls, the signature handwriting, which came off the back of his career as a cryptographer. And it also has the paint, the really heavy, pigmented use of paint. And that comes together in a perfect harmony in this particular work. Twombly's doing something that no other artist has done before or since, and that's really taking a look at the history of painting from the present, and then looking more deeply back through art history to the most prehistoric mark making, such as the cave paintings, and you can see that in his application, using his hands. And that's what's so unique in Twombly's work and so important, and what marks him out as a real master of 20th century art history.